some news stories for you. Firstly, Sudan viewers, today on Tuesday, Sudanese news outlets shared pictures, videos, made some very tall claims that Sudanese military had taken control of key places on Sudan-Ethiopia border, that in airstrikes, Ethiopian military convoys had been decimated, that some Ethiopian soldiers had been captured by Sudan military. What is happening? What is on the ground situation on Sudan-Ethiopia border? Secondly, Gizacho Mulune is Amhara Region's spokesperson. He remarked about Sudanese generals today. What did he say? Thirdly, viewers, Bahir Dar police chief a few hours ago claimed that on Monday there were 4 bomb explosions in Bahir Dar city. Were there bomb explosions in the city, or bombs were detonated by security forces to launch operation which was conducted after these alleged bomb explosions? Fourthly, viewers, Tigray government today spoke. Tigray regional government, Tigray External Affairs Bureau has released a statement about Ethiopian government's allegations against Tigray People Liberation Front. Fifthly, a 13-member body has been formed by Muslim organizations to investigate what happened in Wellega. In Wellega, ethnic Amharas were killed. Muslims have been killed too. And lastly, we have a clip for you. The clip shows an EU member of parliament. Her name is Clare Daly. She is known for having very candid views about different issues. And in a talk recently, she spoke about Africa EU trade relations. What did she say? Very interesting talk. I have a clip for you. Firstly, about Sudan-Ethiopia border, several claims, fake pictures are being shared by Sudanese news sources. It is being claimed that Brecht settlement came under heavy airstrikes. We know that Brecht has been a stronghold of Ethiopian militias, Ethiopian forces in Fashaga. Brecht is in Fashaga al-Kubra, and though Sudanese forces have retaken much of Fashaga al-Kubra and Sogra, but Brecht is still under Ethiopian control. At least 2 days ago, Brecht was under Ethiopian control. Today, Sudanese media claim that Sudanese army has retaken Brecht. And some pictures were shared that Sudanese Air Force conducted airstrikes on Ethiopian convoys, Ethiopian military assets in Brecht. You can see a picture on your screen. This picture was shared by Sudan Tribune, which is a Sudanese news source, and the news source claimed that this picture was from today, from Tuesday, that on Tuesday, Sudanese Air Force conducted a strike on Brecht, and this picture shows the aftermath of airstrike on Brecht, in which Ethiopian military convoy has been decimated. But I have been covering Tigray conflict. It is very clear this picture is not related to Ethiopia-Sudan border tension. This picture is related to Tigray conflict. We saw it last year. So this picture has nothing to do with Brecht settlement or with Sudanese Air Force strikes on Ethiopian military convoys. Now, it does not mean that Sudanese military is not deploying its air assets. Reportedly, Sudanese Air Force is involved in this new escalation, and Sudanese artillery strikes I reported in a previous video on western Gondar. That we have confirmed, but that Brecht came under heavy air strikes, we could not confirm this claim. Then it was claimed that some Ethiopian soldiers had been captured by Sudanese military. Again, no confirmation. Instead, Sudanese military, I think 2 hours ago, released a statement. Sudanese military says it has not issued any statement on Tuesday. It has not shared any information with any news outlet about Ethiopia Sudan border situation. So, whatever is being said, it is being said by news outlets on their own, and it's not Sudanese military's official position. So, no confirmation that Ethiopian soldiers have been taken prisoner. No confirmation either that Sudanese soldiers have been taken prisoner by Amhara militia members, which is being claimed by some Amharic news sources. So, fake information is being shared about this escalation on Ethiopia-Sudan border. But it's not still clear. Has Sudanese military retaken Brecht? If Sudanese military has retaken Brecht, it would be a huge blow to Ethiopian and Amhara efforts to retake Al-Fashaga, because Brecht, like a small town, stronghold of Ethiopian militia, Ethiopian army, if it is retaken by Sudanese military, it means that Ethiopian forces, militia's efforts to retake Fashaga will be over. But we have not been able to confirm that Brecht has been retaken. Again, claims by some Sudanese news outlets, but we are waiting for official confirmation. What we confirmed, we shared in the previous video. Kala Luban, reportedly in Fashaga al-Sogra, smaller Fashaga, has been retaken by Sudanese forces. No confirmation about Brecht so far. Having said that, yes, Sudanese army, land forces and Sudanese Air Force both are involved in this operation against Ethiopian army. Ethiopian army released a statement we shared in previous video. It threatened Sudan, saying that Sudanese forces will suffer consequences. So tensions are there, but Ethiopian military does not want to start a new offensive because obviously Amhara militia killed Sudanese soldiers. Were they killed during fighting or after fighting? It's not clear, but Sudanese soldiers have been killed. And the way the dead bodies were displayed, it sent a wrong message. And Sudanese Generals, they had to start this new escalation because obviously there was pressure upon them in Sudan. And secondly, we know that on Thursday, I think massive demonstrations are going to be held. Thursday is going to be 33rd anniversary of Umar al-Bashir's takeover. Umar al-Bashir seized power by force 33 years ago in 1989. And in 2019, he was removed, but even after his removal, there could not be peace in Sudan. So, some analysts say that Sudan could use this escalation on Sudan-Ethiopia border to divert attention from Thursday's demonstration. That is why we could see more deployments and more attacks from Sudan side of the border to divert attention from Thursday's demonstrations. Secondly, was Gezacho Molone is Amhara region's spokesperson, regional government spokesperson. And a few hours ago, he shared a tweet about Sudanese Generals. What did he say? He says, Sudanese Generals are pursuing the agenda of Egypt. They're not serving the people of Sudan. Very serious allegation. Sudanese Generals are hand in glove with Egypt, we know that. And After the killing of 7 Sudanese soldiers by Ethiopian militia, Abdul Fattah al-Sisi, Egyptian president, shared a message of condolence with Sudanese army chief Abdul Fattah al-Burhan. And it would be an ideal situation for Egypt if this conflict on Sudan-Ethiopia border is prolonged, because we know that Ethiopia is about to start third filling of GERD, and before that any large-scale border escalation will suit Egypt, which is demanding a legally binding agreement on GERD operations. Ethiopia has been resisting signing of a legally binding agreement about GERD operations, and now through the UAE and through some other countries, Egypt is putting pressure upon Ethiopian government. But so far, Ethiopian government has not agreed to postponing third filling of GERD, and it has not agreed to signing of a legally binding agreement. So a prolonged escalation on Ethiopia-Sudan border would definitely suit Egypt, but it would be exaggeration to say that Sudanese Generals are on the payroll of Egypt, they serve Egypt. That can be said about ENDF Generals as well. What Tigray said, that ENDF Generals are serving Eritrea. So, a very irresponsible statement from Gezacho Molone, Amhara Regional Spokesperson. Thirdly, viewers, Bahir Dar. Today, Bahir Dar police chief made an interesting claim without any evidence. He said on Monday at around 1:30 p.m., there were 4 bomb explosions in Bahir Dar in 4 different places. No one was injured though. Was there any damage to infrastructure, to properties? No details, no pictures, no videos. But Bahir Dar police chief says that after that a search operation, a combing operation was conducted. Houses were searched, and 4 plus 2, 6 suspects were arrested, and 16 accomplices were also arrested, who are all under investigation. Some houses were searched as well, and bombs, assault rifles, and some sniper rifles were recovered from these house searches. Now, so far, Bahir Dar police chief has not shared a single piece of information, a single piece of evidence about these bomb explosions. What was the target of these explosions? No one was injured, no pictures, no videos, no property damage, no pictures showing any house, any market damaged. Then what was the objective behind these 4 bomb explosions? Police chief says that the explosions were carried out to terrorize people. How can you terrorize people if people don't know where this bomb explosion happened, who was injured, which losses happened due to the bomb explosion? No details so far. But before these bomb explosions, reportedly movement of security forces was seen in Bahir Dar, and immediately after that a large-scale search operation kicked off. Houses were searched and Fano commanders were arrested. Head of Bahir Dar, Fano, has been arrested. His name is Theodorus Gatacho. He and 3 of his colleagues, of his companions, have been arrested. And they were not on the run. They were in touch with security institutions for months. They were called and they were arrested. So it is being said that these bomb explosions were planted, done by security forces themselves to build a case against Fano fighters. That is why Fano fighters have been arrested. because locals have not been able to confirm where did the bomb blasts happen, who were the attackers, who were the victims, what was the target. That is why this story shared by Bahir Dar police chief is being challenged by locals as well. Next news story is from Tigray views. Tigray External Affairs Bureau today released a statement. The statement is in response to two allegations leveled against Tigray Population Fund in recent days. First allegation was leveled by Joint Security Force. Joint Security Force comprising four security institutions: ENDF, intelligence agency, cybersecurity agency, and federal police of Ethiopia issued a statement about student demonstrations in Ethiopia yesterday. The statement was a warning, a threat to students that they should not be part of these demonstrations. It was said that Vijayane was destabilizing the country by activating its agents in Gambela. Second statement yesterday again, when Ethiopian Foreign Ministry responded to Sudanese government's allegations that 7 Sudanese soldiers had been killed by Ethiopian military. And Ethiopian Foreign Ministry yesterday claimed that Sudanese military and TPLF fighters, they entered Ethiopian territory where fighting erupted and some Sudanese soldiers were killed. Tigray government is denying these two reports. Tigray government said that Ethiopian government is in the habit of blaming TPLF, blaming people of Tigray for whatever is happening in Ethiopia. All crimes are being TPLF is being blamed for all crimes, no matter what is happening in Ethiopia. The statement says that Tigray Population Fund, its members, people of Tigray, they have nothing to do with what happened in Gambela or with Sudanese soldiers and Ethiopian army's engagement. Lastly, Tigray government says that though things are moving towards talks, but the government seems to be insincere because it is leveling false allegations. PM Abiy's government is leveling false allegations against Tigray regional government, people of Tigray, TPLF. Fifthly, viewers, a 13-member committee has been formed by Oromia region's Muslim organizations. The body has been formed to investigate what happened in Wellega. In Wellega, hundreds of innocent civilians were killed. This body, with participation of Muslim scholars like Ustaz Abu Bakr, Ustaz Kamil, will coordinate with the agencies, the forces which are investigating Wellega massacre. Secondly, this committee will work for rehabilitation of Muslims displaced from Wellega. And thirdly, it will try to find lasting solution to the problems in Wellega. So Muslims have been killed as well in Wellega incident. Killed are ethnic Amharas, Muslims as well, and some Oromos, as is claimed by Oromo Liberation Army, which has shared some details as well. But majority of the killed was ethnic Amhara members. Lastly, viewers, we have a clip for you of an EU member of parliament. Her name is Clare Daly. She is known for having very candid views about different issues, and she speaks very independently. She spoke about EU-Africa trade relations, and she says EU's trade policy about Africa is just continuation of European colonialism. What did she say? Watch this clip. Thank you for watching.
I voted for the report also. I'd like to compliment my left colleagues who acted as rapporteurs. There's a lot of really good stuff in it about safeguarding food sovereignty, preventing deforestation and degradation, and many more issues. But the truth is, it's a million miles from the reality of EU-Africa trade policy as it exists now, because our economic relations with Africa are simply a continuation of European colonialism, perpetuating exploitation by other means. Africa trades more with Europe than it does with itself. It's portrayed as a poor continent, but actually it's the richest. It's just that the people there are denied the fruits of their land and their labour by unequal economic relations, by unfair trade rules, by illicit capital flights into the Western banks, and by multinational corporations allowed off the leash by Washington, London and Brussels. This report would begin to change that, but I think it'd take a revolution to actually make that a reality.